both US citizens and Japanese citizens are spending billions of dollars every year on unnecessary military bases in Okinawa. Just how much money? Well, that depends on who you ask. It's pretty hard to get a straight answer from either the Japanese government or the US government regarding how much they spend on military bases in Okinawa. Both sides give differing answers. The Japanese government claims to pay for around 74 to possibly as high as 84% of the costs for having the US military bases in Okinawa. However, the US military does not verify that claim, and in fact, sources from the US military and from the US government seem to contradict that and seem to indicate that the cost is less than that. But in my opinion, either way, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter who is paying for what exactly, because we know that both the US and Japan are paying billions of dollars every year for these bases in Okinawa. It's from both sides, okay? It's not one side or the other, it's both. So the exact percentage or the exact number, I think, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Both US citizens and Japanese citizens are having a lot of their hard-earned tax dollars wasted in these unnecessary military bases in Okinawa. Why are they unnecessary? Well, for one, the US military themselves say that in the event of a conflict in Asia, the Marines will not be used. And most of these bases in Okinawa are Marine Corps bases. That's why they're not necessary. No, these bases, by and large, are not protecting anyone, okay? They're not important to the national security for the US. They're not important to the national security for Japan. And they're certainly not important for the security of Okinawans. The US is spending around $156 billion a year on overseas bases. But even if you take out Afghanistan and Iraq from that, like President Trump is saying, he wants to remove the troops from Afghanistan. Even if you take Afghanistan and Iraq out of that equation, the U.S. is still spending around $100 billion a year on overseas bases elsewhere. U.S. President Donald Trump has been talking a lot lately about trying to find money to build his wall along the southern border of the U.S. And I mean, he's not the only one. A lot of other U.S. politicians are always looking for ways to save money or ways to get money to spend on new initiatives and programs and things like that. And U.S. taxpayers would always love a tax break, wouldn't you? I don't think anyone enjoys having more money taken from them in taxes, especially not on unnecessary, pointless military bases overseas that don't even protect anyone. So my solution is just close some of the bases in Okinawa. It's that simple. Most of them don't help anyone's security. They're really just pointless. They're kind of just window dressing over there. So my solution, if you want to save some money, or if you want money to use on other things, why don't you just close some of the bases? This new base that Japan is building on behalf of the United States military at a place called Henoko in Okinawa, it's going to cost billions of dollars more than what was expected. And we're talking, it could double, or it could even triple the original estimated costs. A recent study done by the Okinawan government indicates that the cost to build this project is going to be far, far greater than anyone anticipated because, for the most part, the soil underneath the location site is too soft. It's being described as mayonnaise-like in substance, okay? The soil is like mayonnaise, Are you going to build a military base on mayonnaise? This is a terrible idea. But so this is why, the primary reason why the costs are going to be so much greater than originally expected, because no one was expecting the soil to be this bad, but it is. And so the Okinawan government estimated around $23 billion, which was quite a bit higher than the original costs. Originally, President Trump demanded that the Japanese government pay for this base, and the Japanese government willingly agreed. But that was before these new estimates came out. It's not clear who's going to pay for this. In the event for cost overruns, it's been the U.S. who has made up the difference. Japan pays some amount for in terms of the U.S. military. They cover some of the costs. They cover a lot of the costs, actually. But it's the U.S. who makes up the difference. And in the event of this colossal cost overrun, it's not clear who's going to make up the difference here. I have a feeling it's going to be the United States, because that's usually what happens. $23 billion is an awful lot of money. It's way, way, way higher than the original costs. So although Japan initially said, sure, we'll do it, I mean, that wasn't $23 billion. Okay, that, and I have to add that assumes that everything is going to go well. That assumes that there won't be any more problems with the construction. There could very well be more problems. Keep in mind, this is an earthquake-prone zone. This area periodically has earthquakes in the magnitude of the 6 point something earthquakes every every decade or so, something like that. It's fairly often. It's fairly regular. So the construction site does not look good. The late Senator John McCain and former Senator Jim Webb called this project unworkable. They said it was just flat out unworkable. They also said it was not necessary and unaffordable. It was unworkable, unaffordable, and unnecessary is what they said. The Republicans have been more open generally to saying, hey, this is not a good idea. It's not important. Let's not do it. Let's save money and not do it. But it's the Democrats primarily who have been pushing for this. They're really heavily backed by the U.S.-Japan military industrial complex. All these huge corporations just draining the pockets of American taxpayers, spending billions and billions of dollars every year on military weapons and equipment. The military industrial complex. They're the only ones who are making a profit here. No one else is. No one. The U.S. citizens are not making a profit here. The Japanese citizens are not benefiting here. Okinawan citizens are certainly not benefiting here. It's not about security, okay? It's about money, and it's about who's pocketing the money, and it's these large military corporations who are benefiting off of taxpayer money, both from the U.S. and Japan and Okinawa. So again, I'll say, going forward with this base at Hinoko just does not make sense for anyone. Keeping all of the military bases in Okinawa open does not make sense for anyone. It's just using up people's hard-earned money. So I'm saying, both to America and Japan, if you guys want to save money, close some of the bases. Stop this base at Hinoko and start closing some of the unimportant military bases in Okinawa, especially the Marine Corps base. I guess that's all I have to say about the matter for now. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. I do videos about a lot of different subjects, not just Okinawa, although I do talk a lot about Okinawa. I also talk about Hawaii and music and movies and baseball and all sorts of things. Please feel free to leave us a comment down below. Doing these things just helps us spread our message across the internet. Thanks again for watching. I will see you guys next time. Aloha.